welcome to Seth's Smorgasbord of Sports, coming to you from the 51 West Studios. I think about NFL quarterbacks a lot. It's probably the most important position on an NFL team. It's who you're going to build your franchise around. It's pretty much the face of your team, who you're going to use moving forward. Your offensive system is pretty much based on your quarterback, like 99% of the time. So, honestly, to me, it's the most important position on the field. So, today I want to go over my top 5 best quarterbacks heading into the future. And what I mean by that is someone who I'd want to be my quarterback for the next decade. So that automatically leaves off guys like, Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers and Ben Roethlisberger and Phillip Rivers, Andrew Luck, Matt Ryan, all those guys that are great quarterbacks and have played in Super Bowls and put up amazing stats over their career. Obviously those guys are the best quarterbacks in the NFL today, but this video is about guys who I'd want to lead my team for the next decade. I don't think any of those guys will still be in the league in a decade. Tom Brady will probably be a grandfather in another decade. So, honestly, this is just for the youngins. These are for the guys that are, I think that are going to be relevant in the NFL for the next decade. So, without further ado, let's get into it. First things first, I gotta say, I'm not going to include any rookies on my list. I'm not trying to hate on Kyler Murray, or maybe I am trying to hate on Daniel Jones, but those guys haven't proven anything in the NFL yet. I don't know if they're going to be busts or if they're going to be great. So, honestly, they have no place on my list. This list is for guys that have played games in the NFL before. So, and I will say this about my own quarterback, Lamar Jackson. I love the Ravens. I love Lamar Jackson. I think he's a good young quarterback. I think he has a lot of promise. But he needs to work on his passing game at the NFL level before I seriously consider putting him in my top 5 list heading towards the future. Love the guy, has a lot of talent, a lot of promise. He's hilarious. I love that he's the face of the Ravens right now. I think they're going in a good direction. It's just, he needs more time at the NFL level to develop his passing. I think maybe after week 8 of this season, if he does well with me, this list could change. But this is as of right now. So, honorable mention. My honorable mention in my top 5. He didn't quite crack my top 5 list, but I have a lot of respect for Dak Prescott. I think Dak Prescott's a good quarterback. He plays in a market like Dallas where he's getting a lot of media attention. He plays in Jerry World. He got Ezekiel Elliott. Everyone expects the Cowboys to win. Even though they don't usually, they haven't for 20 years plus. But everyone expects Dallas to be a winning organization. They're America's team, whatever. But I think he handles that really well. He's just the type of level-headed person you want to lead your organization. He makes really good passes at times. I think he's a pretty solid quarterback. He's 25 years old. Yep. Yeah, he's 25 years old at the moment. So, I think Dak Prescott, if he was your quarterback, I think you'd be pretty happy, especially if you had a good team around him. Really, quarterbacks, unless there's someone that's mega talent, then they're only as good as the team you put around them. And I think with the assets that he's been given, I think Dak Prescott's done a pretty decent job as a Cowboys quarterback. So he's definitely going to be on my honorable mention. He's going to be my honorable mention for this. All right. For the real top 5. All right, number 5 on my list is Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is a gamer, okay? The guy is one of the coolest people ever, by all accounts. He goes to Seattle Children's all the time. Does a lot of cool stuff like that you don't necessarily have to do as an athlete, but it just makes you look good when you do it. And I don't think he's doing it to make himself look good so much as he's just a good person. But we're not doing the top 5 best people in football. We're doing the top 5 quarterbacks to lead your team for the future. And Russell Wilson is 30 years old, so, he could play for another decade. He could play till he was 40. I could see that. He still has wheels. He can still move around in the pocket. I think he's one of the most underrated passers in the game of football. He's never truly had a superstar wide receiver. Doug Baldwin, in my opinion, really, really good. But is he a superstar? He's really underrated, yeah, but he's not one of those explosive receivers. He never really had some mega super 10 touchdown, 12 I know Baldwin's really, really good. And, he put up great numbers in Seattle over his career, but that's partially because of Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's a great quarterback. He's delivering great throws to the guy, and you put Doug Baldwin with a quarterback that's not as good as Russell Wilson. I don't know if he puts up as good numbers in his career, and that's no knock on him whatsoever. I really think Russell Wilson's a top-notch quarterback in the NFL, and he would not be a bad choice at all to build your team for the next decade around, even at this moment right now, after he's been playing for a long time. I mean, dude's a Super Bowl champion. He should be a 2-time Super Bowl champion if Pete Carroll wasn't his coach. But that's beside the point. I mean, the dude knows how to win. I love him. I think he's perfect, honestly, at the quarterback position. He has the great attitude, great talent, just everything about him. That's what you want in a quarterback. So I think Russell Wilson has to be in the top 5 heading towards the future. All right, number 4 on the list. This is where we start hitting the super young guys that have only been in the league for a couple years. Okay? So, at my number 4, excuse me, I have Mitchell Trubisky from the Chicago Bears. That dude, his rookie season, I was maybe they wasted a pick on him. They signed Mike Glennon in free agency. I was like, what are the Bears doing at quarterback right now? You take a guy out of an ACC school, it's automatically a question mark because let's face it, the ACC's not putting out great quarterbacks all the time. They're definitely not coming from that conference most of the time. So when you get a good quarterback, I had some questions, especially after his rookie season. But when he came out his second year, he looked great last year. He had a 7-touchdown game or 6 touchdowns or whatever he had. It was amazing. I thought Mitch Trubisky had a great year last year. They definitely should have beat the Eagles in the playoffs if they had a real kicker. I think the Bears could have beaten any team in the NFC last year, and I think they could have beat the Patriots. They lost by a touchdown at Soldier Field or something. The Bears were one of the best teams in the NFL last year. Bleacher Report's a bunch of idiots for not picking them to come in first place again. You got to be stupid to think Green Bay is going to beat Chicago out for that division. So, Mitch Trubisky in year 3, I think he's going to lead the Bears to another division title and keep progressing as a quarterback. I think he's a great guy to build your future on. He's 24 years old. Yep, 24 years old. So, he'll be 34 in a decade. He could still play even past that. So, having Mitch Trubisky would be amazing if you were starting a franchise today. All right, now to the top 3. And this is where people are probably going to start disagreeing, but I don't care because this is my list. All right, number 3, I got Baker Mayfield from the Browns. And everyone's going to be like, it should be number 2 behind Mahomes, whatever, okay? I don't like his attitude. I think he's a douchebag, personally. With that being said, if you can go 7-8-1 with the Browns your rookie season, you obviously have some talent, okay? I think this dude's going to be great in the NFL. I think he's going to make great throws. He already was his rookie season. He's going to keep progressing. He's going to keep making diamond people down the field. He carved the Ravens up in Cleveland last year, and he beat us. It was pretty upsetting, honestly. We've lost to the Browns before, but, we were a team competing for the division last year. We ultimately ended up winning it in Week 17 against Cleveland. But they gave us a game all the way down to the end. I was sweating. I'm not going to lie. I was kind of nervous. Man, I don't like Baker Mayfield. I really don't. I guess that's good when someone's in your division and you don't like him. I don't like Ben Roethlisberger, and you know why? It's because he can beat us. So if Baker Mayfield's proven he can beat the Ravens, he's given I don't know that for sure. Pop it up right here or whatever. I'm pretty sure he beat the Steelers. I might be wrong. He wrecked the Bengals. I know this he can play against the AFC North, and the Browns usually have gotten bullied in the AFC North since they became a team again ever since the Ravens came to Baltimore. So, the Browns have sucked. They've made the playoffs one time in that time period. Very inept organization, horrible quarterbacking, horrible coaching, horrible leadership. But the fact that they got the Chiefs' old GM and John Dorsey, and they're actually going to keep him for a little bit, he's a smart guy. He drafted Patrick Mahomes. Spoiler alert. But, I think that having a guy like Baker Mayfield, obvious talent, and having a set GM in there, the Browns are moving in the right direction. If you have Baker Mayfield as your franchise quarterback, he's 24 years old, so yeah, in a decade he'll be 34, just like Mitch Trubisky. Those are guys that can continue playing well past then, So, I think he'll be a force in the NFL for many years to come, personally. He's a very talented quarterback. I just don't like the guy. The list. And he'd be number 1 if Patrick Mahomes didn't exist, but DeShaun Watson of the Houston Texans. DeShaun Watson's a super talent, okay? Guy got hurt his rookie season, but last year he was just electric, okay? This guy's just exciting to watch. He can run, he can throw, he can do it all right? He's pretty much like a creative player on Madden. He can throw bombs, he can hit DeAndre Hopkins, who's a superstar wide receiver, which is obviously going to help out a young quarterback. So, when you're comparing him to someone like Mitch Trubisky or Russell Wilson or maybe even Dak Prescott before he had Amari Cooper, they don't necessarily have like a superstar target to throw the ball to. So that has helped out DeShaun Watson, no doubt, early on in his career, but he's making the best of it. Like, if you have someone like that and you don't use them to their full capacity, like, it starts to be like, wow, you have all this talent around you and you're not doing anything with it. Well, DeShaun Watson's doing something with it. All right, you got Lamar Miller in the backfield. I mean, oh, fuck. All right, number one's Patrick Mahomes, as if there was any doubt. If you don't agree with that, someone needs to help you, okay? Like, now, I know some of you agree with that, but I know a lot of you disagree with it too. So let me know what you think. Like this video, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Voice your opinion. I want to know. Join the party. So thanks for giving me a watch. Keep watching.